Delivery driver hits the brakes after a chilling sight in customer's yard catches his eye. When you're an animal lover, you can't help but feel connected to the creatures who roam this planet, no matter the situation. John Casabria, an Amazon delivery driver, is one of those kind-hearted heroes, and during one of his routes, he ran into a disastrous situation. There was no company protocol for such a scenario. It was up to him to act. John's home was filled with animals when he was growing up, and as an adult, he surrounded himself by his own horde of pets: 4 dogs, 4 cats, and a snake. Luckily for this animal lover, he was in the right place at the right time. On an ordinary workday in 2020, he was delivering packages in Woburn, Massachusetts, when he accidentally made a wrong turn. He stopped his Amazon truck to reroute the glitchy GPS when an odd sound caught his attention. "I've never heard anything like that in my life," John said in a later interview. "I actually heard it over the reversing beep of my van. The noise was emanating from a nearby backyard. The driver knew he didn't have any official reason to investigate." Still, his curiosity was piqued. Wandering in the area, John followed the sound until he reached a home with a tall fence and a pool in the backyard. This is when he discovered the source of the unnatural noise. Fear stirred inside the delivery driver. In the pool, there was a dog struggling to swim in the deep end. There seemed to be no one else around who noticed the drowning dog. John knew he had to do something. "I saw a dog, the dog being Luca, barely standing in the pool," John said. "My heart sank as if I was watching an ASPCA commercial from 2005 when they played Sarah McLachlan's Angel. And that's saying something." Immediately, John climbed the fence and ran through the stranger's backyard. The dog, who John would learn was named Luca, only had his snout sticking out of the water. Fully clothed, John jumped into the water. "I dove into the pool with my shoes, wallet, car keys, the whole 9, he said. "And I swam with him in my arms the best I could hold him from the midway point of the pool to the shallow end and hoisted him and myself out of the pool." Panting, John splayed out on the pool deck with the frail dog at his side. He saw no sign that anybody was home, so he'd need outside assistance to save Luca's life. Then he realized he might have made a fatal mistake by entering the pool so hastily. What if he couldn't call anybody? Even though his phone had gone in the pool with him, it still worked. After getting Luca to safety, he contacted the Woburn Police Department. Luca's owner had just left town for a vacation when they got a call. Julie Caldwell and her husband were enjoying cocktails in Cape Cod when they got the call from the police. The officer confirmed her identity before telling her that her dog had escaped from her yard. Julie hung up feeling more confused than ever. She knew her dog Luca was 14 and wasn't physically capable of jumping over the fence that surrounded their backyard. A moment later, another call came through. When John saved Luca, the animal control officer who came to check in on the situation happened to know the Caldwells. The officer lived nearby and was familiar with them and their elderly dog. He was the next person to call Julie and her husband. The next time Julie answered, she got a much more complete story. The animal control officer recounted John's harrowing rescue of Luca. Julie was overcome with emotion. "I just started crying and I dropped the phone," Julie said. "I couldn't even talk." Sweet Luca was an old dog and had difficulties with his back legs. If John hadn't seen Luca's struggles, the story likely would have had a depressing ending, instead of a positive one. Julie was in shock over the entire thing. "Luca normally avoids the pool. We have a doggy door, and he used that doggy door for 15 summers, Julie said. "He goes outside, goes right to the bathroom, and normally goes back in and stays in the air-conditioned house." Julie thinks that a bone caught Luca's attention. There was one stuck in the pool's vacuum, and he might have heard the sound, saw the treat, tried to get it, and then fell in the water. A neighbor was going to check on Luca later that day, and he'd fallen into the water during the brief window of the Caldwell's departure and his arrival. John waited with Luca for 90 minutes until the dog sitter arrived. "I happened to be in the right moment at the right time. I would repeat the same actions over and over if I had to," John said. Julie was extremely grateful for John jumping into the pool to save Luca. She proved that in a big way. She was so happy she wrote to Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos about John's bravery. Words cannot express how grateful we are to him. In fact, I have tears in my eyes as I write this email. Luca is doing fine thanks to your wonderful and courageous employee, Julie wrote. An Amazon spokesperson responded, "We love hearing stories about drivers being everyday heroes. We're excited to celebrate and thank him for his great efforts." Hopefully that means giving him a massive raise. After all, when it comes to dire animal rescues, people have to put their own lives on the line.